Welcome back to the Master Your Money podcast with me, Marini Jackson, your guide to mastering credit, building wealth, and creating financial freedom. So let's dive into today's episode. Now, I hope that you enjoyed the content for the last two episodes on emergency preparedness for summer. I just wanted to share from the heart just some bonus information and content based on the topics that we discussed in emergency preparedness. Um, One would be your home. Now, I spoke briefly about the home as far as like the utility cost, but let's look at things that some people may or may not think about. Your home repairs. Number one, you want to make sure that you're keeping your home repaired, things in proper working order. Um, for instance, you want to ensure that your roof is, whatever type of material your roof is made out of, that things are sealed properly, there are no leaks, things of that nature. And if you do find issues, that you are taking care of those in a timely manner as a homeowner. Now, as a homeowner, the expenses are all up to you. Getting those repairs, that is all financially up to you. Um, One thing you definitely want to do, if you find that you do have some items in your home that need to be repaired, and this is prior to an emergency, you want to contact your insurance company. Even things such as your HVAC unit, your homeowner policy. Call your agent or your agent's office to find out, let them know what's going on, the specific situation, and if your home policy covers that. In some instances, they may, in some instances, they may not. So you never know unless you ask. And my motto is the answer is always no if you don't ask. So at least call and ask. If you don't or if you find that your homeowner insurance policy may not cover a repair, if you have a home warranty company that you're using, like I actually have one, um, you can call them as well. And depending on the system or the component, they may cover a significant portion of that. And I have personal stories of where I have had to call my warranty company. For instance, my heating and air unit, and I may have shared this on a previous podcast, but a few years ago, my electric bill jumped up to $800. Now, at that time, should not have been $800 worth of any type of electric activity or utility activity going on in my home. My home is, all the appliances are electric, including the stove. And I contacted my utility company first and let them know, hey, this was my bill. I just wanted to check, was this a mistake? Uh, what can be done about this? Unfortunately still had to pay that bill, but and this is a strategy you can use for your utility bills if your provider allows it. My company and I'll get back to the warranty company in a moment, but my utility company actually had what they call budget billing, where you pay or where you pay like essentially the same amount every month, and that helps to cover for the months during the summer where bills may be higher. In my case, my HVAC unit, there was a part I think it was the heat switch, which went bad. And because of that, it caused a blower to be on 24/7, which ran my bill up. Um, when I called my power company, they, of course, couldn't do anything. I asked what could be done about the bill. They said nothing could be done, but the amount had to be paid. So I was able to sign up for budget billing so that $800, I wouldn't have, I split that over the next few months, the next 12 months, so that it wouldn't impact my budget. My budget wouldn't take that $800 hit at one time. And I've remained on the budget billing, and I've noticed maybe just like a small fluctuation during the summer months when it's extremely hot, or during the winter months. But for the most part, that bill is pretty much the same dollar amount. My utility company also has flat billing, and they just charge one amount um, during the month, and some people find that effective as well. But specifically for the heat switch for my HVAC unit, since there was nothing my utility company, my power company, could do about it, I did contact my home warranty company, because I did pay out of pocket to have an electrician come check it out. And one of my friends at church, he does HVAC work. He was able to check it out as well. Actually, two people from church checked it out because they work in that particular HVAC field. And then someone else said, do you have a home warranty? And I was like, yes. They're like, call the home warranty company, let them know what's going on. Because my friends from church, they had told me, call your insurance company and see, if they can come check it out, see if it was weather related. And that was one thought, like it was, could have possibly been weather related, because my unit is outside. It's like a big metal box thing. And that wasn't the case. So it wasn't covered by insurance. With my HVAC, with calling the home warranty company, they covered up to a certain dollar amount. So the person or the technician came, checked it out, confirmed the heat switch needed to be changed, and then another part, which I do not remember, needed to be changed out as well. And then with my particular home, it has like an upstairs, downstairs, like two, oh goodness, I can't remember the name of it, but two units. So once the technician hired through my home warranty company, fixed the original issue, he went outside, looked at the unit, and he told me that whatever is the fan that's supposed to be spinning to, help blow like the cool air in the home, was not working. And I was like about to cry, literally about to cry, because I, paid a lot, quite a bit for having, my portion for the original item. Fortunately, he was able to contact the home warranty company, let them know what was going on. My unit, my outside unit, was no longer the part with the unit. The entire unit was obsolete. So he was able to work with the warranty company, where they covered that, the new unit, and they ordered it. And when it came in, the technician installed it, and things have been good. But just speaking with other people, as far as like getting HVAC units replaced, that charge can be anywhere from 10 to 12, $15,000 out of pocket. I had a manager, and a few years ago, she said that her HVAC unit had just gone out, and she had a warranty, but her warranty had expired maybe like a month or two after. And so unfortunately, she had to pay for that new unit. And there were some other technicalities where with her community or something, I don't recall the full story of that, but you know those prices can add up. So that's why I say your emergency home repairs, the sooner you find out what needs to be repaired, you get whatever expert in to take a look and diagnose and tell you what needs to be done, then you can get those repairs made. Another thing as well, and this also involves insurance, is you when you meet with your insurance agent for your insurance audit, your annual review, or whatever they may call it, you want to also find out if you're a homeowner, especially like if what your homeowner insurance covers, as far as like if, again, I'm in a region where we are aware that hurricane season, if we could potentially get impacted. But if a limb from your yard falls on someone else's, or a tree, let's say a whole tree falls on someone else's property, your neighbor's property, is that covered? If it is, how much of it? Or are you responsible for paying for damages to the other neighbor's property? These are things that you want to be prepared about. And just with the home repair, the maintenance, making sure your trees, your bushes, things like that are cut back. And so it's not a disturbance to your neighbors. And my family, we actually had some property, and we found out that one of the, or I think it was a couple actually, but I know it for sure, one of the trees, it was the state tree for our state, and there's a certain way that limbs are supposed to be trimmed back. And if landscapers, they cut the tree wrong, they meaning the landscaper, could face significant fines. So you want to be aware of your property as a homeowner, aware of areas that you may need to tidy up, to get clip back, trim, things of that nature. Remember, your home is your investment, so you want to keep it safe and keep it maintained at all times. Your vehicle as well, you want to stay up on your all required maintenance for your vehicle, whether it's tires, your oil changes, getting air filters changed out, keeping the fuel injection system and all of those things checked out. And these are small basic things that we want to make sure that we're taking care of. Also, with your medications or with your medical care, this is something that my pastor and spiritual father talks about a lot. Like if for instance, if you have a medical emergency and you're in a situation where power is out, do you have enough medication that will keep you, you know, healthy? Basically, like if you're someone who takes certain medicines every day, you want to make sure you have a few, like 30 days, 60 days, 90 days supply of those medications. And I know in my area there are local pharmacies that do give the 3 months supply of whatever medication or prescriptions. And then like for some people, they may have their prescriptions like a subscription, I should say, where like those are items being mailed to their home. And I know in my area, like places like Walmart, they'll even mail your prescriptions to your home. But in an emergency situation, you want to ensure that you have, again, enough of your medications to last you, whether it's insulin, things of that nature. Um, But it being prepared, you want to make sure you're writing things down, communicating with your family. We talked about communication in our previous episodes, and that includes your children. You want your children to know, this is how you prepare for this type of emergency. We have in the past had tornadoes, which were resulted from the hurricanes. I fortunately hadn't, experienced one, but I do remember when I was growing up as a child, one thing that we did, or a couple things that we did in school routinely, was emergency preparation. We practiced how we would evacuate. We had tornado drills, and it wasn't of course announced to us as students, but I'm pretty sure the teachers and the faculty of the school knew, okay, on this date. And it was random times, like some our teachers could be teaching or whatever, and next thing we know, we hear this alarm, and we all had to stand up, quietly, and we couldn't be in a panic. Well, we all had to line up by the door, and then for the tornadoes, we like the building was, I think, concrete, so we had to crouch down with our arms over our head, and that was them teaching us, if something happens, if the building gets knocked over, then we're protecting our head, we're protecting our vital organs, things of that nature. Also, we have to practice that on the school buses, or practice emergency for a school bus as well, and we all had to jump out of the back of the school bus. So your children, I'm not sure if schools do that now, but let me know in the comments if your children have had to do any of that recently. But these are things that you can do, with especially with the home, to make sure that you're prepared. And with your children, of course, communicating, explaining to them where you have to go. This is why, and if you have pets, I did not mention this in any of the past two podcasts, you want to take that into consideration as well. If your pet takes medications, you want to have some of those ready. And then also, if you do have to leave your area or your home, in particularly, whether you're in an apartment or you own a home, if you have a pet or pets, what is your plan for your pets? What type of pets do you have? Do you have fish? Do you have snakes? Do you have reptiles? Do you have a dog or a cat? And if you do have to leave your area and maybe check into a hotel, you want to find out the pet policy, and ensure that you're incorporating that into the financial plan as well, because some hotels may allow pets, or pets are welcome, but they may have an additional fee. And then you want to make sure you have your food and things of that nature for your pet or pets as well. So lots of considerations. But as you're looking around your home, take an audit, see what may need to be repaired, replaced in your home. And one thing my spiritual mother, my pastor's wife, would always tell us is, you make sure we're prepared and we have a go bag ready to go, packed in the car, because anything can come up, and you may have to spend the night. It may just be something, an overnight thing, if the power goes out, for instance, and you have to go away overnight. You want to make sure you have a change of clothes, your night clothes, all of your personal items, your toiletries, to ensure that if anything happens, that you are ready. And it's not that you're doing it again out of fear or panic, but you want to get ready, as some people say, or stay ready so you don't have to get ready. But I hope that these extras that I have shared have been of value to you. Let me know in the comments below what part really resonated with you. And share this podcast with a friend or a family member, and you all can go on your financial journey to financial freedom together. And if you're ready to take the next step, definitely go to my website, www.virtuefinancialsolutions.org, and there you'll find out more about my programs and resources to help you in your financial journey. And remember, until next time, we don't just manage our money, we master it.